The Flyers are a joke, an absolute joke. And everyone involved, management, front office, ownership, they all need to be held accountable. It is ridiculous how this team has gotten to this point and where it's at currently. Chuck Fletcher, I don't know how the hell he got a GM job, but everything that has happened in the past couple of days all reflects, well, a good amount of it reflects on Chuck Fletcher. And my oh my, is this guy the biggest doofus of all time? This guy, how the hell does he have an NHL GM job when your resume looks like this? I mean, holy shit. Okay, I understand maybe getting your first gig and fucking up. Okay, maybe get a second chance. But the third chance with the Flyers, how is that possible? I don't know. I don't know who thought it was a smart idea to let him get a third chance in the Flyers organization and hire this bozo, but they did, and my oh my, has it not worked out. And if everything coming news-wise in the past couple of days, I mean, this has just been terrible for the Flyers. I mean, where do we start? The Sean Couturier injury. He might be out for the year. They are evaluating him. Chuck did say today, but yet again, he wants to kind of, I wouldn't say cover for his ass, but he doesn't want to make things seem worse than they really are. He said originally they were saying Coots might be out for the year with a disc injury. Now they're reevaluating and they're going to evaluate and see what happens. So, but Coots has a back problem. And that's never going to go away. He's already been in the league for 10 years. That's just not going to go away. And he's going to fall off, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to play as good as he probably did when he was like in his prime 2020. Probably not. And it sucks because we just signed him to this massive extension. I won't give Chuck flack for this because, you know, Coots was actually playing good when he signed that extension, and he was technically our number one center, but I mean, just the timing of that is terrible, and Coots is potentially out for the year. And let's just look at these lines without Couturier in the lineup. I mean, just look at this guy. This guy put up a lineup, projected healthy lineup for the team this season. Here's the forward lines. JVR, Hayes, Travis Konechny, first line. And second line, look at this. Lawton, Frost, Atkinson. Third line, you got the Cates brothers and Owen Tippett. Fourth line, we'll get to Nick Delorier in a second. Nick Delorier, Patrick Brown, and Wade Allison. Obviously, we have Tyson. He also has Tyson Forrester there. In my opinion, he should probably play second line minutes. Put him on a line with Lawton and Atkinson. Let him develop. Let him play with some solid players. It's the only way he's going to develop, and we need him to develop. Tyson Forrester has a really nice shot, and we need for him to develop. I mean, this has just been abysmal. I mean, everything handled has been terrible. And what about the Ryan Ellis situation? Holy shit, where do I begin with this? Ryan Ellis. This guy, when he was brought in, now, I'll give Chuck a little bit of credit here. They didn't really give up much to get him. However, I was not a big fan when we originally got him, and I was in the minority. Everyone loved the move because we get a defenseman that is good. He can help Provorov, and everyone was happy. The reason why I didn't like it to begin with was because of his contract, and people didn't really seem like, oh, I mean, whatever, he'll help us now. No, he didn't help us now because he only played 4 games last year. He was never on the ice. He never did nothing. He was non-existent, nowhere to be found. Literally, where is Ryan Ellis? He's out for the year. Out for the year. Basically, his career might be done. That is insane. His career might be done, and we got him. And we now have that contract on the books for, what, 5 more years? I mean, just how? Why? You could say, oh, well, it was still a good move because he didn't give up much, but you got to realize that's against the cap. And the reason we couldn't go for Johnny Gaudreau was because we didn't have cap space. But the doofus does seem to fail to realize that you can sign somebody and be over the cap in the offseason, and then but once you lead up into the regular season, you can make trades. You can free up cap space, and one way they could have done that is put Ryan Ellis on LTIR. They knew his situation. They knew his severity of his injury. They just don't say anything. They always keep Ryan Ellis's condition under the floor. They never bring it up. It is ridiculous. You never, at one point, he was ready to maybe potentially to go day 1, night 1 against the opening night. And now he might be done for his career. What the fuck? They don't even know what's going on. It is absolutely ridiculous. And Chuck Fletcher is clueless. And another quote from his interview on the day I'm filming today, the 22nd of September. This is the quote. Just look at this shit. He goes, "Last year we faced a lot of adversity on and off the ice. Clearly we didn't meet the challenge. There are a lot of people who don't think we're a good hockey team. We are excited to prove them wrong." Chuck, I got a question for you. Who the fuck are you fooling? You ain't fooling nobody. We are terrible. Who are you going to be fooling? Look at the lines again. Look at these lines. Who are you beating? You'll win some games because Tortorella is going to carry the team and he'll probably get the most out of this team that anyone probably could. Yes. I'll be honest. I wasn't crazy for the Tortorella signing, but he won't get the most out of the guys. In my opinion, he's not the long-term solution behind the bench. But he's a guy that's going to develop some of these young kids, and that is really, I think, good for the Flyers. Like, some of these guys need a coach like Tortorella. But, Chuck, who the fuck are you going to fool? Who are you surprising? We're going to be terrible. You're not surprising anybody. Nobody. We're going to be terrible. We're going to be potentially competing for Bedard. Honestly, I don't even think we're going to be in the Bedard sweepstakes because Tortorella is going to get us. Actually, no. I'm going to take that back. We are bad enough to be in the Tortorella Bedard sweepstakes. I'm really hoping and praying. So I am hoping that we do suck ass because I want Connor Bedard for the future. But yet again, something's going to happen or whatever. We'll fuck that up too somehow. But, I mean, the cluelessness in this guy and the ability, he just fails to recognize that this team is dog shit. Now, I will say this. He's not going to publicly say, "Oh, we're going to be bad. We're not going to do good this season." No, he's not going to say that. But he fails to realize that the team needs a rebuild, not this aggressive retool. And this aggressive retool, you could have, if you really meant what you said, you would have went for Johnny Gaudreau and you would have made it work. You wouldn't have had to technically move JVR because you would have gave yourself time the entire offseason to create the cap space, and they could have. You don't have to be meeting the cap space in the offseason. You just have to meet it at the regular season. So you have all the way up to the first night, opening night, to make up and free up the cap space. Now, the counter argument for the Gaudreau situation would have been, well, he's going to want a long-term contract and pay $9 million. He would have been 35, whatever. It makes sense. I actually agree with that, and I understand that. But you also got to realize, if you're going aggressive retool, you weren't aggressive at all. The most aggressive thing you did was get Tony DeAngelo, and he's getting paid $5 million. I forget what, for 2 years? I mean, that's not a bad move, but like, he just fails to realize that this team needs to rebuild. And he's trying to cover his ass, and this is costing the team the amount of assets we've given up, just trying to not rebuild. And he's just trying to make playoffs, but him just trying to make playoffs is hurting the team because this team does not have the caliber to go in for a run in the playoffs. And it's this team somehow, but they're not. If they were to make the playoffs, they're getting bounced first round. They're not going further, and they're going to potentially hurt Carter Hart's development. They're going to wait and waste Carter Hart. That's my fear. They're going to waste Carter Hart, and he's going to be wasted potential, and that is my biggest fear. And also, speaking on the goaltender situation, what the fuck? Ivan Fedorov got Putin. Putin got his ass. Simple as that. But who's going to be backup goaltender? Alex Lyon? Who's the backup goalie? They don't even know. Chuck doesn't even try and make a move for the backup goalie. I mean, what are you doing here? We got to figure something out. And then Nick Delorier, that contract. Just why? What the fuck does he bring to the table? What is he going to do for this team? Physicality. You can get literally any other player who's potentially just as physical, and they could be more productive. You could have had Sonny Milano. I mean, yeah, he's younger, more upside and potential, and yeah, he's not as physical. But we have already McEwen. You can get another player that is a little more on the physical side, but they actually have a game. What does Delorier do besides be physical? He's literally useless. He's not going to do anything. We have him for what, 4 years on a 1.7, 1.9 mil? What the hell is he going to do on the team? Nothing. He's garbage. He's literally a waste of space on the ice, basically. He's dog shit, and we got him for like 4 years. What the fuck? I mean, this guy is an absolute buffoon, and how he got a job, I don't know. And everything that has happened to the Flyers, and where they're at currently, it's all on Chuck. And it's all on Chuck. A lot of these moves and situations we are in is because of the stupidity of some of the moves he's made. We've given up a shit ton of assets that have really held the team back. We don't really have that. I mean, we have a decent prospect pool. It's okay. You got Tyson Forrester, but Morgan Frost hasn't developed. I mean, the Cates, their brothers, they're okay. They're not anything special. Now we got Cutter Gauthier. Okay. But, I mean, what about what year was it? 29? Was this still Chuck? Was this Chuck Fletcher in the draft? I have to double check myself. Hold on. I was right. This Chuck Fletcher's first draft was 2019. And I remember this very vividly. There was one player in mind right around where we picked twice because we traded down in that draft. There was a player that we could have drafted twice, even if we didn't trade down originally. But where we were when we traded down, we could have had Cole Caulfield. And I was pissed when we passed up on Cole Caulfield. We took Cam York. Cam York's okay. Don't get me wrong. He still has potential, but he's not going to be better than Cole Caulfield. You kidding me? Cole Caulfield had an elite shot. He's a great goal scorer, and he would have been so much and he would have contributed so much to the Flyers team at that time when needing goal scoring everything. You get a guy that can score goals. You don't even take him, and you know he's going to score. You know he's going to be a bona fide stud going into the league. Mostly everyone knew it, but the height was a problem. But, now look at him in Montreal. He's tearing shit up. He's doing really good for himself, and Cam York is okay. He bounced around AHL, NHL. He's just not established himself. Cole Caulfield was more ready and the better player right from the gate and had more potential. We don't take him. We could have had him twice. We don't take him. That pissed me off so bad that draft. I was fuming. I mean, fuming. That was terrible. Oh, I missed this. The Rasmus Ristolainen trade. We traded our first round pick in 2021 for Rasmus Ristolainen, coming off of one of the worst defensive seasons of all time. And we just gave him the bag, which also hurt us not being able to get Johnny Gaudreau. The guy that's literally from right outside Philadelphia. The hometown boy who would have literally came here probably on a discount, to be honest. Not like a drastic discount, but a little less than what he got in Columbus. He would have came home 1,000%, and Chuck fucked it up. And this team is in disarray, dog shit. This team is, there's literally no hope this season. Literally no hope. There's no reason to be excited, but yeah, I still want to go see a game simply because I want to go watch the Flyers play, probably against someone that I'd be intrigued watching. Like last year I went to the Flyers game. I didn't really go just to watch the Flyers. I wanted to go watch Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid's my favorite player in the league, and I saw him, and it was good. Yet again, the Flyers didn't score that game, but it is what it is. But I mean, just this team is dog shit. It is terrible. Chuck Fletcher needs to be taken out back and put down. And, well, not okay. I mean, he needs to be fired. He needs to be canned. Now, whoever the new GM would be, it's going to be Danny Briere. Let's be real. In all reality, what's going to happen is Danny Briere is going to be moved up to GM, and Chucky's going to get promoted to president of hockey ops. That is scary, because that's probably going to happen. Chuck might get promoted. Either he's getting fired or promoted. And that is crazy. And there's a good potential that he's getting promoted, and that is scary. Very scary. And if we have him being promoted and being the hockey ops guy, oh my God, we're doomed. We're doomed. This team's already doomed. We'd be more doomed. I mean, the Flyers are in for one this year, and I'm not looking forward to it. Only thing I'm looking forward to is potentially getting Connor Bedard. And we probably won't even get him, so I don't know what. I mean, maybe we get Fantelli or Machikov. Maybe, but who knows. Yet again, Chuck Fletcher needs to go. The Flyers, they need to get their shit together. This was once a good franchise. Now it's poverty, and we are dog shit. They need to fix this shit, and then maybe people will be interested in going to see some games, because there's going to be a lot of empty seats this year. A lot of empty seats. It's going to be a tough one, Philly fans. It's going to be tough.